some questions.
Yes.
Oh, fan questions.
Questions. I'm gonna scroll up to. I'm sorry, I can't scroll all the way up because you guys have been chatting a lot.
Uh-oh. By the
Start
way,
answering questions now. Answer questions.
I mean, sure. By the way, I cannot answer
Spoilers and all that.
spoilers or anything about like what's going on in season 4 because you know what, that's not cool.
Yeah,
It's
we're not
not.
even gonna answer that.
We're not going to answer that. We're not. If you have a question like that, we're not going to answer it.
Ask me questions of Darren.
Yeah, about Darren and her journey. Any advice that you want if you're interested in getting into the animation industry or development question, whatever. Okay, so Bank, he's one of our
Regulars.
regulars.
Yeah.
Very cool.
He asked, "Hey Darren, what were your main influences around the time of pitching Star, and did your influences change as Star developed into the show it is?"
Ooh, that's a really
Question, yeah.
No, that's a super good question.
Wonderful questions.
Yeah, I know. Gosh, I feel like I'm gonna have to like I wish I had a time machine or something. I mean, I know that Star definitely had I was probably a lot more into anime and stuff then than I am now. I just don't watch it as much now, but I think I was probably more into those things. I'm trying to think.
I mean, you mentioned Sailor Moon earlier.
I love Sailor Moon. Wait, and then how did it change to now?
Yeah.
You know what was sort of interesting with Star is that the first time I pitched it was before Adventure Time or any of that was on TV, and then Adventure Time started airing, and I was like, oh, this is so cool. This is exciting that.
You know Penn too, right?
Yeah. It was really exciting that something like that could be on TV and get
Yeah.
popular because before that, everything there was kind of this era where everything was kids in school. You know?
Yeah.
They're still trying to do that.
Well, it was kind of, it was a little
different
sad.
versions.
And it was so exciting that there could be this really just adventure, cool show, So yeah, definitely Adventure Time was a big influence.
Okay. Yeah, I noticed that.
Is there anything you're watching right now? Any the animation or shows or anything?
Oh, that's super
that
inspiring.
kind of influence what you're doing.
Oh my god. No, I watch such a variety of things. Honestly, and I end up watching a lot of nature documentaries and stuff. I feel like I need to wind down a lot of the time,
Yeah.
I just watched Maniac, which I know a lot of people have not liked, but I really
Oh,
liked it.
is it the Netflix one?
Yeah, it has
That was
Jonah
great.
Hill and
Yeah,
Emma
no, I
Stone.
did
That was
watch
really
that was
trippy.
great. I just watched all of the last week, and I was like, oh, this
was
is
deep.
great.
That's
Yeah.
cool. When they went into the fantasy world and all that stuff.
Yeah.
That was neat.
It's like a mini, short form mini series, right?
Yeah, and I love movies and stuff. My husband is a director, and he does horror films, so we end up watching a lot of horror films and stuff
cool.
too, and getting into some of those
That must be fun.
circles. Yeah, it's super fun.
That's the contrast. You're making kids.
And I
TV
make
shows.
adorable rainbows.
Yeah, and then he's
makes,
the dark side.
Yeah,
You guys are perfect for each other.
yeah, it's great.
Lindsay Garber. Hi,
Lindsay.
Lindsay asked, wondering how many seasons she wanted to go for or planned for the show to go.
Oh,
Thank you, Lindsay.
Yeah, that is a good question. Yeah, and I think that there's a lot of maybe confusion about how that works too sometimes.
Yeah.
So every season you do of a show, you're not guaranteed another season. You are working on the season, hoping you're getting another season. It makes it really hard for something like Star, where I wanted to do more sequential stories, which actually is something the networks generally don't like very much. So if you notice on Star, we didn't have that as much at first, but as the show did well, once the first season aired and people liked it, I got a little bit more freedom. I could kind of be like, hey, people like these elements, let me do more of that. And then the network's like, cool, do more of that, that's fine. So, every time we did those sort of cliffhanger seasons, that was a risk,
I
And
understand, sister.
I think I got a little cocky with that because I did a big cliffhanger third season because I was feeling like, I think we're going to get that fourth season, which is rare. Getting a fourth season is rare, especially in Disney's. In cartoons,
It's usually 3 and then...
yeah,
2 or 3, yeah.
2 or 3. And I think that a lot of the networks, they, I don't really know what the logic is behind that. I think it might have to do with kids growing up fast and,
Yeah, because
maybe
they age out of the demo.
yeah, they age out of the demo, so they they like to get the new thing going. I don't know exactly.
And cartoons are expensive.
They are very expensive. So I kind of knew if we got the 4th season, that would be our last season. I even had a plan because, I didn't know if we were going to get the 4th season, and we did leave it was a big cliffhanger at the end of season 3, so I had this whole, how I was going to argue with them to, give me, one more half hour just to finish the story, we can't leave it like this, but
You did that on purpose.
That's bold.
It was bold, yeah, so sometimes that doesn't happen. I think we've all loved a show that just ended, and that sucks.
Sure.
Yeah.
So I knew if we got the 4th season, that would probably be it. So I went into the 4th season thinking about an ending. And I had an ending in my mind for a while, and then by the time we got to the 4th season, I didn't think it worked anymore. So it's a different ending than I was originally planning. And that's all anybody's gonna know about it.
Later,
Nice
she
try.
will talk about
But
what
it
the
does,
alternate ending
just
was.
so that all the, because I do think this probably people are curious about this. Yeah, I knew the 1st season would be an ending, so the show has a real ending.
Sure.
It's not going to be
Awesome.
like a non-ending.
It's not gonna be
Yeah. You know what's really a weird thing that's happened in this whole process?
What?
When we were getting done with storyboards, which God was probably 7 or 8 months ago now. I mean, I've been at Just Post for a while, but when we were ending the last animatic, I got this overwhelming feeling, and it was the weirdest thing. I was just oh my God, is Star gonna be okay? I had this feeling of like she was a real person, like she's this friend that I'm not gonna be able to talk to anymore, and I felt really, really sad, Because it does feel like it's this person that's been such a part of my life, and then and I just, I felt like she was just leaving. She was like, I'm going, goodbye. You won't be able to write to me or contact me in any way. And it's just oh no, my child, it's really weird. I'm feeling better now, but it was it's been a hard,
You're that connected.
It's like doing a little bit of grief and you got some counseling, some therapy.
I should probably.
I should probably. I'm talking to the air, pretending that
again,
Star
it's
is right there.
Because
It's a little weird.
When we mentioned you've been pitching Star for so long,
Yeah.
that's literally your baby. They always have there's a phrase, and apparently it's not true in your case. Never pitch your babies, but you pitch your baby. So now it's college and moving forward, just I'm no longer the mom.
I know, it's sad. It's really sad to see. And and taking a bit of the crew was hard. Everything's been really hard about this process, but I'm
It's bittersweet.
I'm glad she got to live,
And then you're putting her down.
Oh God, no!
I'm sure it'll live on in its own way. It'll live on, I'm sure, at cons and whatnot. People
Yeah.
wearing Star cosplay.
Oh my gosh! And there are so many people who have made their own OCs and are really into the world and are doing their own comics with the characters, and I love that so much. I hope everybody keeps going with that. I think that's the coolest thing, I hope so. I'd love to do JK Rowling, this is in 5 years. This is where the characters are now.
Greatest stage play.
This is where
Are-
they
are-
are.
Or when they're when they're older.
I know.
Or even do what she did, just do other stories that exist in Star.
That'd be cool.
That'd be neat.
That'd be cool.
Or
Disney,
spin-off.
I'm open to stuff.
Yeah.
That would be cool.
What else you got?
I thought this question was kind of interesting. Maximum asked, Darren, how did you get past the Disney censors?
The Disney censors, the S&P people.
I guess so.
Honestly, I guess you guys were saying, oh, you're gonna win with a lot of stuff. I don't know. I think that they change their minds on what's appropriate and what's not appropriate all the time. I think because Star was Disney XD for most of it, that was a little bit of an interesting space for S&P and everybody. I do think they were letting stuff, or they were letting stuff be a little bit older based.
Just what was also on XD? It was Tron and Motor City. Was Randy Cunningham also XD?
Yeah,
Motor City was.
honestly, S&P was mostly fine. There were not very many things that I mean, mostly they're just telling you to make sure everybody has a helmet and a seatbelt.
Yeah.
There wasn't. Yeah. If they're on a boat, they are wearing a life vest. Are those kids on a roof? Where's there a railing? They're mostly concerned with that.
There's
Wow.
one show I was working on. I was doing animation for way back in young, and literally we got that note. I want to just animate the scene and throw the character in the water and have them drown. Oh, you're right. They shouldn't have a life vest. I'm so sorry.
But yeah, they don't let you like Tom in a recent episode, or I guess it's not recent, but Tom in an episode of the 4th season, I had him say frickin' for something, and it was so funny, and they were like, we can't say frickin', so I had to cut that. Frickin's too freaking.
Is it Turd?
Too
I
freaking
think
long.
it is, isn't it?
Oh yeah, turd.
I
Yeah.
was like, oh.
So edgy.
That will. Actually, you know what? That was really funny because that and the whole XD thing is really complicated. But there was a point in XD where they. This earring is fine. By the way, it
Those
isn't
are
like
nice.
falling out of a hole in my ear.
Those
I
are
have.
heavy.
I don't have pierced ears. I have clipped earrings.
My sister
They're
has
nice
piercings
earrings.
now.
Thank you. But yeah, I have pierced ears. I don't know why.
No holes.
But wait, what was I saying? Something about the oh turd. That was like this weird. Okay, so oh my god. So okay, so it's like, hey, you have a show, and then I'm like, yay, I'm gonna make my girly show, and then they're like, but it's gonna be on XD, and it's gotta be boy, like try to push the boy stuff, and we want it to be older, so like try to actually, they were actually telling us to kind of push it.
Oh, wow.
So that's actually where that episode where like Bunny says turd a bunch because I was like, I don't know what to do.
Farts! Turds!
She just
Is that boy enough?
Is that boy? Is that whatever? I don't
So
know.
we
And then they kind of backed up on that. I mean, again, you know, and I don't want to like sit here and be like, oh, they did this or that, but it's like, I think with that network, it's like they were trying to find the right thing for it,
Yeah,
you know,
okay.
and it kind of went through some different phases, you know.
For sure.
Yeah.
What else we got?
Eric Pete Brock said, if you could go back, what would be some advice you would tell yourself at the beginning of your career?
Oh, that's really good. Yeah, that's really interesting. Oh God, that's so hard. You know, because like stuff was really hard with the show at the beginning. It really was, but there wasn't a lot I think I could have done about it. It was sort of just a weird
Kind of more life-threatening life.
That's a big one, yeah. I mean, something that I think, oh god, I mean, this is so in the details of it, but like, retakes are like a really annoying thing when you're running a show.
Everybody hates retakes.
I hate retakes. Because you're basically, what you're doing is you're watching all the animation from the overseas studio really carefully, and you're trying to find mistakes and send back the mistakes, and I think, especially as somebody that went to animation school, it's you can kind of get caught in the weeds of like, they're followed through on that, this is like little technical things that make you crazy, and then you end up spending all this time. And I've tried really hard over the years to just not worry about it that much, but it does eat up a lot of your time, and I wish I could, because honestly, I don't think most people notice that stuff or really care that much, but I mean, it's hard though. Like you get stuff back from overseas, and you know, and
You're a perfectionist.
And you're a perfectionist, but you also try to keep in mind they're trying to do a good job too. You know what I mean? Like you don't want to just like nail people with notes because that's messed up. And they're trying their best, and a lot of times maybe you know you have to take the responsibility that maybe we couldn't get the right materials together to make it really perfect or whatever, because everybody's working in really limited time. You know? So it's like all those things, but it's hard. I would say that's one of the harder parts of the process.
Yeah. And nobody likes retakes.
Got a question on Instagram.
Okay, go for it. I'm sorry, Mr. Graham.
First of all, this young lady named Star Butterfly.
Oh.
That's her Instagram.
Oh yeah,
handle.
she's sweet.
Cute.
Star.butterfly. She says.
If it's a she.
Oh, there's so many people with Star Butterfly. She's just asking, what is your favorite season and/or episode?
Ooh. I mean, I really like a lot of the episodes. I mean, I can go by season. I mean, definitely, I love Live the Ball in the first season, and Puberty was one I felt like there was really good through. And second season, oh my gosh. You know what's one that I think might not be a lot of people's favorites, but I love Goblin Dogs. That's I love an episode where I can just get the characters like kind of stuck in a situation. I don't know why. I really like doing those episodes. I really like Goblin Dogs because they're in a line.
Yeah.
They're in a food truck line the whole episode, and it's a really bananas episode, and I had a lot of fun with that.
Well, it's fun creatively too.
It's fun creatively. I love doing that one, and I love doing booth buddies. I loved having the Stern Rocco stuck in a photo booth. Like, I get really excited about doing those ones, and they're really hard ones to do, but I feel like we pulled that challenge off, and that was fun.
That's when you know a character is really well developed. You can just be them in one area the entire episode, and it's still enjoyable and captivating.
Yeah, no, absolutely, and oh my god, Ludo in the Wild was an early second season that I felt like we've made a breakthrough. Like it felt really good.
No, you go.
This is a good question. What motivated you to keep pitching Star after all these years? I guess it's because, like, I think most people, after they pitch an idea over a certain amount of times and it keeps getting rejected, they end up thinking, like, oh, maybe I should just trash this instead. It's a very good question. Thank you.
It is a good
Oh, and that was
question.
by Valentina Ruiz.
Oh, I know Valentina. Valentina's really awesome. Hi,
Hi,
Valentina.
Valentina. Thank you, Valentina.
Thank you. No, I mean, I don't know if Disney didn't want Star, that could have been the end of it because there wasn't, apart from Nickelodeon, Cartoon Network, and Disney at the time. I mean, now you
were
got some new
almost
players,
giving
so-
up.
Yeah, 'cause DreamWorks hadn't developed their own studio.
Yeah. I mean, that would have been the last
Yeah, that
of
would
the
be-
three major ones. But I don't know. I mean, I was already doing this. I was gonna do a webcomic with her. I was very determined to make it happen, even if I had to just do it by myself for free. But I do think that there's something to believing in your idea and just keep putting it out there, even if you believe in it, that's the most important thing.
Was
you
it
know?
just because you were so in love with the character?
I think so.
Yeah.
I really like Star Butterfly. I really
can
felt
tell.
like she was. She's sort of, I feel like, has embodied a lot of parts of my life and stuff that I really liked as a kid, and all these things kind of together. And I don't know. I just wanted to try to make it live.
Yeah.
And I think when you believe in something, you have to put your heart into it and you have to put your most into it. Like a lot of people that I know look at these opportunities to do pilots, and a lot of them, they don't have a choice, right? They have reasons. They have kids or a family or a house payment, or they can't just commit to doing a pilot. I was really glad that when I got the chance at Disney to board the pilot and just put my full time into it, that I didn't go back to Roller Monster. I was like, I'm just gonna put everything I have into this and be there and make sure that I'm in the building every day and everybody has to see me working on this thing. I actually think those things make a difference, just being the committed person that's like, whatever note you throw at me, I'm gonna find an answer, I'm gonna find a solution, I'm gonna, because they'll give you these weird assignments, like when I was developing Star, it'd be like, so are we gonna make the show? This was after the pilot, and it would be like, I don't know, hey, maybe try writing a little script about each character. Okay, I'll do. You just kept doing every single hurdle until, somebody says yes. And I do think the persistence is important, and it's not going to work every time, but you only get these opportunities so many times, and that's when you got to go for it. Yeah.
It's like they were testing your endurance and how much you take.
think
And being
they do.
self-motivated, too.
Well, and honestly, I think sometimes there are tests by how difficult is this person.
Oh, yeah.
Because you are making a relationship with the company for years and years and years, and again, they're putting all this money into it. I think that they need to see that you are a reasonable person who is good to work with.
That's something we always do.
Yeah, don't be a dick.
Yeah, that's fine.
That's true on every show, every single thing, any job you have. It's. I mean, you should just be good to people, but
Ideally, yes.
ideally.
We're civilized.
Yes, we're very similar. We're drinking wine, so we're very similar.
My pinky's
We're eating chocolate-covered
Spills
raisins.
on myself.
Yeah.
He did so earlier
Oh, when
too.
I opened that, it just...
In plastic cups. Okay, I'll stop. Vivi is me asked, when you have other pitch ideas, do you move past them or still develop them further? I personally have various ideas, but don't know if I should work on multiple at a time. Any advice?
Oh, about working on multiple versus one?
Yeah.
No, there's no harm in working on multiple. I think that's okay. I mean, again, feel passionate about them though, because you don't want to be just going down some road because you feel like this is the idea maybe that people might want, but not the one that I'm really excited about. Then I don't think it's going to feel authentic.
Yeah.
I'll back you up on that because usually if you're just trying to sell a pitch, I think they're gonna really like this. No, that's not. It's what to you. Yeah. So have multiple ideas. Oh yeah, I like Voltron, but I also like Sailor Moon. I also like Care Bears. Doing that, that's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's you shouldn't be trying to make shows for other people. Make shows for yourself.
Yeah, it's interesting because I know I pitched it a few times, and every time I go there, I ask for what they're looking for, and they always give me feedback. Oh, we're looking for family shows, or we're looking for action adventure, we're looking for this. So I guess it's good to have that kind of influence you, but don't just fit the the square peg in the square hole. It has to be coming from
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
I also know who asked that question. So hi, Veronica and Heather.
That's good. You're a fan.
They ask good
Are
questions.
these
They
fans
do.
or friends? These are fans.
Well, I feel like fans that become friends. Yeah,
They're
like
family.
there have been some very, very cool people, like those two, Veronica and Heather. They've done these amazing cosplay of like, oh my god, they did Liberty Star and like
Aww.
Butterfly Star and like just like.
Did they come to NerdCon?
Yeah, they think they no, I don't think they did. But they always come to Comic-Con and they're just like very cool. They're very talented.
Ask,
you know, like they're very cool people.
We've got a lot
Where
of
did
questions.
it go?
More questions than we've
Oh,
Well,
boy.
I didn't mean to cut you off. I was talking to you.
Oh no, it's all good. Yeah, what else you got? What else you got?
Sophia Arts asks, how did you develop your characters? Sorry.
How did I develop them?
Yeah.
I've been asked that before. That I feel like I have a hard time answering because I think I've just always really liked characters and I've liked observing people. I do think that there's a little bit of people I know a lot of times go into the characters, but not always. I don't know. And then sometimes they're just kind of born out of certain elements. But definitely, you know, Marco, I always say this, you know, that I think there's a little bit of me in Star and I think there's a little bit of my husband in Marco. But, you know, I also think once you get the voice actors, they brought a lot of the character too, and they added some specific things that then you start bringing into the characters.
That's true.
And it's really cool sometimes to see how a character's born. One of my favorite things that was in the episode Puberty, so Dominic, who was one of the supervising producers, he wrote and storyboarded the scene in Puberty, and it's where Marco is like, you know, trying to help Star, right? She's going through puberty, and he's like, he's going into the spell book, and he's trying to get info, and then, you know, Glosser comes out of the book and like blocks his way, and also Jana is like in his way, right? Is like a, you know, and she was just a background character, Jana, right? She was just somebody that we had drawn in as one of the schoolmates. But Dominic like gave her this great character. Like she was so funny. She was like flirting with Marco, but also being really like shitty and not letting him, you know, get what he wanted. And she was so fun that I was like, okay, let's keep bringing her back, you know? And that was completely just born from that scene, from like, hey, I want a character, I'm boarding the scene, I want a character to be in Marco's way to prevent him from getting the book, right? And yeah, it was great.
That's amazing.
It was amazing. And then what helped too is then, you know, we have a casting department, and Rachel was my casting person. She's amazing. You know, she's like, hey, you know, we had like Abby Elliott come in recently, and I think she'd be really good for this voice. And I'm like, cool. And she was awesome. Like, she's awesome. Like, she came in and just did that one episode, and that combination was just like, this character is awesome.
Yeah.
And then I kept wanting to bring her back.
That's cool.
Yeah.
So you kind of like feel a little like ask a little help from like the voice actor or something.
Yeah, I think that could bring a lot. I mean, Eden, oh my god, like with Star. We had tried out so many people for Star.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I swear there were probably 100 people, and so many just, you know, very talented voice actors, or very talented actresses, but...
What were you looking for exactly?
Well, I wanted somebody that had a quirky quality.
Okay.
You know, I wanted somebody that was sort of like very confident, you know, because I think that Star has so much confidence in herself, but is like super weird, you know. And Eden came in and just had that energy, you know, like she was so excited and I don't know. I mean, I couldn't imagine anybody else being Star.
Yeah.
You know?
That's so cool.
I just found a funny question. It was, how would you feel if Star versus the Forces of Evil was in Kingdom Hearts?
Oh, I mean, I would love that. I would love that.
Yeah.
I don't think they would. I don't
If
think
they have as many cutscenes as they do now, she'd be very offended. Just kidding.
What do you think Star's key phrase would be?
I mean, I don't think Disney would ever do it. I would love that, but I don't know. I
They
mean,
haven't
maybe.
got any television shows for Kingdom Hearts yet.
Yeah, I don't
Yeah.
know. You know, I would say maybe fans, if you keep asking for it, because actually, you know, that makes change. Like, one of the
It
things I
does.
thought was so cool is when the Gravity Falls fans kept wanting the DVDs, and like they did that petition and they got them. So you know what? If there's something you really want,
You
you
guys
know,
have the power.
you guys have the power. Like, basically, everything with the company is like they just want to make you happy. If enough people want something, you know.
Yeah. We have a couple interesting specifics here. Like somebody's asking, what was the hardest episode to storyboard? Was that ever a challenge?
Oh my god. Yeah, well, I mean, there were certainly ones that, you know, a lot of...
Say the people that are saying these questions.
I mean, A lot of them were really hard. I don't know if I'm gonna remember specific. I know I mentioned, Puberty was definitely one that sort of the story was redone, and especially first season we had a few that the stories were really redone, for various reasons. But some of them are just harder to get right than others.
That Teal Shy guy is asking, was there ever an experience in your life where somebody told you that you couldn't make it or you weren't good enough?
Well, I mean, if I, kind of what I was saying earlier, if I think back when I was a kid, I mean, I had that teacher that thought that I was not a good learner.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I mean, I don't know. I mean, I wouldn't say specifically like either way,
It was
but
like, you're never gonna make it.
yeah. No, I don't think I quite had the one. Man, I'm sorry. I really have to pee. Is there? Can we take a break?
Yeah,
Is that a possibility?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I do want to answer more questions.
Yeah,
No,
she's just gonna take a quick pee break.
Yeah.
You guys can
Is that okay?
chill in the
Or maybe
chat.
I could have questions
In fact-
for you guys.
In
I'm
fact,
sorry.
we can do it.
Okay. Yeah, do your thing real quick. Do your thing. I will be so fast.
Oh, answering questions or wait, what?
I'm gonna show her.
Yeah.
What are we doing?
Ted.
Oh,
Yeah.
I think Brian, I think you should mention.
Sure.
Yeah.
So we have a random pee break happening. It happens because we're drinking. And we're
Yeah.
We
adults.
are drinking a lot.
Yeah.
But hang around and converse if you want.
Yeah.
We just would like
Yeah,
to make
more questions.
an announcement.
Don't be right back. Real quick.
Right
Right back. Yeah, so thank you for checking out the Animation Success Stories podcast. We're great to have you here. We do this periodically, like once a month. So.
Once a month or so.
Yeah,
Yeah.
where we interview animation professionals.
It's Nick,
This is Nick. He's
the
a
one that you
technical
guys
dude.
all love.
And we can't do the show without him. We
No.
can't do the show without any of us, hopefully. But yeah, we interview writers, show creators, board artists, directors, voice talent, etc.
Okay.
To like find out their stories and where they got into the industry. And unfortunately, this week, because we all work in the industry and work with a lot of talented people, we lost someone we specifically the three of us, Anthony and Sabrina, worked with, and myself on Rick and Morty, Ted Stern, who is a very talented board artist and director in animation. He worked on such shows as like the original Beavis and Butthead, Daria. He was the animation director on Daria. And he was on Downtown as well, which is like Chris P. and all the people at Tip House.
Yeah.
He was on King of the Hill, I found out too. He died, I heard he died on the 1st, but we found out about it over this Thursday. And he happened to be one of my board artists for seasons 2 and 3 on Rick and Morty. And he did the autoerotic asphyxiation episode with Unity and the Tiny Rick episode, and also Vindicators and Morty's Mind Blower. Ted was a great guy, great talent, and also an independent comic book artist and a
yes.
teacher. Because
Yes.
I have to,
Super talented.
Yeah.
I'm reading his stuff right now. Oh my god.
it's very fun.
Oh yeah,
I-
it's beautiful.
I bought the book when he had his show a little while ago, and like it seems so effortless compared to like what he normally did.
Yeah.
And if you have a chance, check out Ted Stern. And just we lost someone today, and just want to give a shout out to Ted. It's Darren's episode.
You miss you, Ted. I miss you.
Yeah.
You should
His
check out
his comic book.
Fuzz and Pulp.
Yeah, Fuzz and Pluck.
Fuzz
It's
and
so
Plug.
beautiful.
And Mulatry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Isn't it the characters is
The
Fuzz and Pluck?
characters of Fuzz.
And then that was I think like one story, like the Mulatry. And
Yeah.
then there's like different variations. But search Fuzz and Pluck and Ted Stern. He's super talented.
Yeah.
We miss you, Ted.
So R.I.P. Ted.
Talented guy.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Sorry about your throat.
It's okay. It just sucked that happened this week. It's just like, oh, it's the first time I lost someone. Like, I had death before, but it's the first time one of my boarders died. Someone I worked with personally, and like Sabrina sat right
I've
behind
sat next to him so many times, and he was the funniest guy ever.
him. Such a good
Yeah, he was just that guy that was like, man, freaking Ted, man.
Yeah.
Like, and he was. I remember specifically. Sorry, I'm gonna just go down memory lane really quick, just because this is a funny story. I remember on season 3, I kept talking about like my favorite, cocktails that I like to go out to, when I go out to drink, what I like to drink, and then I kept saying like, oh my god, I love lemon drop martinis, and he's like, that's not a martini, and I was like, that's what it says on the menu though. Like, I don't know what to call it. What do you call it? He's like, I don't know, but it's not a martini. He's like, you haven't tried a real martini.
He's really particular about his
Oh
Okay,
yeah.
yeah.
And then I
with
was
all
like,
of it.
I was like, well, Ted, why don't we all go out after work one day and you can show me what a real martini is? And he's like, okay, let's do it. And we actually did one day. Like, we went to the Holiday Inn in Burbank. We went up, like, I don't know, it's like on the, like, 13th.
Like the top floor. It was a martini bar.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's hilarious.
and we all had
all
classic
there.
martinis. I did not like it,
I didn't know.
but I was thankful for that experience. And yeah,
He's very proud of his daughter too. She's like,
his daughters are gorgeous. Is it one of them that's a dancer? Yeah.
you always talk about going to her side.
Yeah. Yeah.
And like when I found out he was one of the, he was the animation director of all of Daria, I was like, I brought in my DVD. It's like, who signed this?
Oh.
You were Daria's shirt.
Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
I loved it.
You know,
Cheers, Ted.
aw,
Cheers.
Cheers
I don't
to
have
Ted.
wine in here. Cheers. I did have wine.
You know, there's something really
Oh.
special about our industry.
Yeah.
I think about that sometimes. You know, animation, we're a small knit group, and I mean, there's probably more now than there's ever been because there's a lot more projects going on. But still, I mean, compared to live action or something, like we're a really small community, and that's something that I always thought was really awesome and special about it because you have to love this. To do it. It's a hard work.
And we work with a lot of like interesting people.
We work with it, and it is. Well, it attracts an interesting person because I think that, you know, weirdly, animation I think kind of gets shit on, especially children's
Oh yeah,
animation.
we're definitely the redheaded stepchildren.
We're definitely like the redheaded stepchildren
It's
of
redhead.
which. Oh yeah, it's probably a most of things. but there's. But I think that because of that, it attracts a really special person that really loves what we're doing. Like, you can't fake it. You can't come into animation just like, I'm going to do this to make money. No, that's not a thing. That's not a thing.
People try, but then they realize, oh, there's no money.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that should never be a goal.
So I think we have
Yeah,
time for a few
let's
more
go.
questions,
Let's go back.
Sorry, guys. Sorry, I had to run.
Oh, it's fine.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
drinking
Bladder
wine
speaks.
and like,
I have
oh.
one question that Biohazard wanted to ask.
Go for it.
Question. I really
Biohazard.
wonder about Ponyhead. As long as I see how people discuss over her, it feels like they dislike her or even hate. So I want to know what you think about her character and about the episodes in which she articulates, especially Bam Bati,
Oh, Bambi Potty.
by which I admire, but it certainly has flaws. I want to know
Oh,
whether you're wrong in
okay.
your opinion or not.
You asked this question, didn't you?
I mean, I love Ponyhead, and Ponyhead is an interesting history, which she was in the comics I was doing. She was going to be part of the webcomics as like, this was in the very early version of Star, where her magic powers aren't real, and Ponyhead was going to be her kind of imaginary friend who would encourage her to, you know, so of course, a
It's like
decapitated...
Davy and Goliath, yeah.
Yeah, her original version, though, had like blood dripping, like sparkly blood all the time. So when the version changed and Star became a magical princess from another dimension, I was like, oh, why not Ponyhead just be real? Like, I thought that'd be so funny. Of course, now it just sparkles.
Disney.
Disney, yeah, we're not gonna plug. But you know, I love Ponyhead, and of course we have Jenny Slate doing the voice, who is so funny, and she ad-libs great things. And a lot of people like Ponyhead. I feel like she's divisive. There are people online who don't like her. But I feel like Ponyhead, like, I've had so many Ponyheads in my life. I feel like I've always had a Ponyhead friend. There's been a few of them. And she embodies, like, that girl that you're friends with who's kind of crazy, but is, like, the best time ever. Yes, and I love that. You know, and I do think there's some people who maybe aren't connected with that or something, but that's fine.
They might be younger and they haven't had that
They
experience.
haven't had the crazy friend.
Or maybe they are the crazy
Maybe
friend.
that's why. I don't know. But
Can't relate.
I don't know. Ponyhead's great. And oh man, Bambi Potty, that's another one of my favorite episodes we ever did. I love that episode. And I don't know if any of you guys seen that one. It's half in Korean,
Oh wow.
which
Nice.
was cool to try
It's
to
like
do.
an Adventure Time thing.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
oh yeah, no,
it's-
because with the rainbow unicorn.
Yeah, she
Teenage
spoke
Robot.
Korean.
Teenage Robot did that because the actress who played Jenny.
Okay,
was
fine.
Japanese.
I'm not. This thing is good. Fine. I'm not that original.
No, I'm
everybody.
just saying. It's fun. It's
No,
fun
no,
to
yeah,
play
no,
with
it's
things,
nice
yeah.
to hear that it I don't know.
Yeah.
It was really. I had a really good time doing that episode. It was really fun. And the Ponyhead's like, she's basically like her horn has gotten broken off in a really messed up way, so she's kind of given up on life and she won't leave her bed and she's just watching Korean dramas.
Oh my
And
god.
everything that's happening in her life is sort of being mirrored, or on the Korean drama, or she's interpreting it that way. You know, it's like a medical drama.
Oh man.
It's
I went through my phase of watching Korean and Japanese dramas. I can relate.
It's great. But I love Ponyhead. I don't know. For all those people who don't like Ponyhead, screw you.
Suck it.
Get out of here.
Haters. No, watch it. Gotta keep watching.
Subscribe.
Like and subscribe.
Alright, what else we got?
This is a regular Lauren, LA artist. Hi, Lauren! She's a good friend of ours. Hello, Ass Crew and Darren. I'm a big fan. Love the Magic Spellbook. Was there overlap when you were working on the book and the show at the same time?
Oh yeah. So, you know, and that was so much fun. So, God, it was the summer before this last summer. I got to write the Magic Book of Spells with Dominic and Amber. And Amber Benson, and that was so much fun. Like, I've never gotten to write chapters before, you know, and I basically got to write this book that's a history of the last 13 queens of Muni. You know, it's matriarchy, so each mother gives her wand to her daughter, and it was so much fun to do. And because I was doing the 4th season at the same time, I got to put in elements. So I would say if you're a fan of the show, try to read the book before the 4th season airs. I think that you could certainly enjoy the 4th season without reading the book, but I think you will find a lot of little Easter eggs and connections between the two things.
Wow.
Yeah, because that's what was so cool about doing it at the same time, because literally I got to, like, episodes that were done boarding but hadn't been shipped to animation yet, I could be like, no wait, put in this character, put in this thing, and like these got to speak to each other, so it's really cool. Yeah.
Time between the 2 seasons.
Yeah, and there's some things people haven't figured out about the book yet. I'll say that much. Because there's a couple, like, of course, people.
Testing.
There's a secret language in there. Of course, everybody figured that out immediately and put it on the internet, which was kind of lame because I was hoping people could figure it out on their own. But anyway, whatever. But there's one other thing that I've been surprised no one's figured out. So yeah,
Figure it out.
figure it out, people. Here's a challenge.
First person to figure it out gets a private screening of the finale.
We have nothing to give you.
We have zero things.
IDEC fam? IDEK fam. IDEC fam. I'm sorry. these display names. Darren, what inspired you to character design Jackie into Office? And I love
Okay. How would you design Jackie? I mean, Jackie's the coolest girl ever. I feel like that's where that design came from. She's got a blue streak, she rides a skateboard, she's wearing, oh my gosh. You know, I had a whole phase where I was like really into the aqua bats, and I was into ska, and I was, yes, hell yeah. I was an aqua cadet, and this was in like middle school, like high school, all these ska shows. Anyway, I feel like Jackie like kind of embodies the cool ska show like girl. Yeah, like she's awesome. Yeah, and you know that's been an interesting thing too, because I don't like black and white stories. You know what I mean? Like I feel like I like stuff that where there's a lot of gray area and nothing is super perfect or spelled out. And I think that that's one of the things that people liked about the show, but also like made them crazy. Because you know Marco, he has this crush on Jackie. And then, of course, you know, there's Star, and there's all these other characters. And they're all cool characters. Like, I never wanted to create a character on the show that was like, hey, it's just the crush girl, and she's, like, super perfect, or super... Yeah, I mean, Jackie is a really cool, interesting character, and people really have really loved her, which is great.
I saw another question in there about Jackie. It was, what was your favorite outfit you could create for Jackie? I don't know if it was you that created her outfit. Somebody asked that.
I mean, her normal like character design outfit. I think I drew that one more or less. But I'm trying to think of. I don't think Jackie said that many of them. She has that really cool dress, and I think that Sabrina, who was one of her borders and directors, put that in the board. Sorry,
that's why I forgot my name. It's popular now.
And then, I'm not sure who did the character. But anyway. Jackie's cool.
Let's see. A few people keep asking if you will star Butterfly, and then I think was it here? No. Well, anyways, they keep asking, will you make a webcomic afterwards to have it live on, or will you go off to work on other shows after?
Well, I'll need to make money at some point.
This stuff costs money.
So
you
yes,
guys.
some shows.
Yeah. Just gonna. I'm gonna move to a dumpster and just do Star Comics.
Meet her at the dumpster
Yeah,
on
it's gonna be
Fifth
really
Street.
cool. I'm just gonna, just be obsessed. No, I don't know. I'm hoping I can, revisit Star here and there. I mean, I'm down if maybe sometime in the future Disney wants to do another thing. Would be really cool. And yeah, I mean, that would be awesome if maybe I could do some stuff to check in on the characters. Definitely am not going to be able to do that as like a full-time thing.
Legally, would you be allowed to, draw and put out a comic daily on Star, or is that something?
I don't know.
She's starting it tomorrow. We'll find out.
Oh, God. No, I don't know. But I don't think I would have the bandwidth to do that, to be honest. Maybe a check-in every once in a while would be cool, but,
Want to do like
guys, I have to live.
Want to do like 1 or 2 more questions?
Yeah, I'm trying to find. Let's see. I'm just trying to find some good juicy questions.
None of juicy
Oh, here
questions.
you go. I don't know. Well, this is something fun. Roxy first one. My question is, Darren, do you think Funko Pop will be considering to make adult Marco as a Funko Pop figure?
Adult Marco.
Oh my God. That would be so cool. Okay, so we finally got some Pop Funko, which is awesome. I feel like it's been a long time coming. But it's like Star, Marco, Ludo, Tom, and Butterfly Star. So very cool set. I would love if they did another set. I have lots of ideas. I want to see Princess Marco. Of course, we need to see Calypsa. Adult Marco would definitely be cool.
I have a question.
Yeah.
I know the answer for other shows, but I don't know about for your show. How involved are you in merchandising?
Oh, not at all.
Yeah.
No, not at all.
They have people that need
Okay,
to know
no,
that,
that's
yeah.
probably good to know. Yeah, I have absolutely no control. I mean, of course, I would love a million products and all the things, and I have spent actually a ton of time at Disney trying to figure out how to make that happen, but it's just completely out of my control.
Yeah,
100%.
Disney has a whole
Guess what? Disney owns Star.
Yes.
It is not mine. I sold it to them when I made the pilot. I do not own it in any way, shape, or form, and I have no control over what they do with it.
Yeah,
So.
Disney has like a 2-block long set of buildings just for consumer.
Should I do the intro again, or are we good to go?
No.
Great.
Oh, there we
Yeah,
go.
let's
We're
go.
good.
So there was an intro, and then there was about 45 seconds to a minute of awkwardness. That will serve as our musical intro today, just us rambling about nothing. And now, here we are.